Welcome, my dear students. Today we are going to see computer programming through C. As per the SBT syllabus, the code of the subject computer programming through C is 1600302. So today in this lecture we are going to see the first unit, Introduction to Programming. In this first unit we have sixth lecture. In sixth lecture the lecture name is Programming Style, Names, Refinement and Modularity. So we will see this all names, refinement, modularity in detail in this lecture number 6. So let's start. So this is the content of the lecture, what we are going to discuss today. So first we are going to be talk on programming style, then we will see naming convention, and as per our syllabus we are going to focus on C language. So I have given more detail about the comments how we are using in C programming language. Then we will see indenting and white space concept. Then finally we will touch the refinement in the programming language. So what is the concept, how we are going to be use the concept of refinement in programming language, and modularity concept. So we will see one by one in this lecture. So the heading is programming styles. So in this we have 3 points. We will see these 3 points one by one. So first point says that programming style is a set of rules or regulation, or we can say that it's a set of guidelines. For what? Where we can going to be used? So this guidelines or these rules we are going to be used for formatting programming instructions. That means, dear students, when we are going to be do the programming, that time we must follow some set of rules. Second point says that as we know we have a different programming language in front of us, and each programming language having their own programming style. That means each programming language have followed their own set of guidelines or rules. So that guidelines or rules can be developed from the coding convention, and that is used in the organization purpose. Third point says that here the key element of the programming styles are naming convention, comments and formatting. So these are the 3 key elements in the programming style for any programming language. So what are the 3 key elements? Naming convention, comments and formatting. That is talks about the syntax of the program. So all the program we have a syntax, and that syntax we must have to be follow when we are going to be write the program. Now naming convention. So first we have a naming convention. Inside this we are going to have a 3 points again. We will see this 3 points. So why we are using the concept of naming convention in programming language? So first point says that it improve visual appearance. What says that? Naming convention improve the visual appearance, and that reduce the effort which is needed to read and understand the code. Dear student, please try to understand here. Naming convention is used to improve visual appearance, and this visual appearance reduce the effort which is needed by the programmer to read and understood the code. So this is the first point of the naming convention. Second point says that in computer programming, naming convention, already I said that it's a set of rules. So for choosing the character or sequence, we must use the knowledge of identifiers. An identifier denotes variables, types and functions and other entities such as source code and documentation. So dear students, second point says that in programming language, naming convention play the important role because it's having a set of guidelines or rules for selecting the character sequence which is used for the identifiers. And what are the identifiers here? Variables, types and functions and other source codes and documentations. Third point says that, as I told at the beginning itself, we have a different programming language. So all different programming languages having different naming convention. So this the continuous slide, we have some guide. We will see one by one. All naming should be descriptive where appropriate. Dear students, our naming should be descriptive in nature. That means where it is need to be describe the name, we must describe it, but not in too long. Second point says that we try to avoid the abbreviation for putting the naming. And other part also, we should also not put too long. So the naming convention should be easy to understand. Clear? So naming convention should be easy to understand. Third point says that constants are usually defined as all uppercase using underscores to separate words. Here the uppercase and underscore, two words are used here. Uppercase means capital letter, lowercase means small letter, as we know that. Underscore here, so that means constants. If you want to be use the constant in naming convention, then that can be separate word and that is separated by using the underscores, and this is the symbol of the underscore. For example, max underscore height. So we should not put a blank space between the max and height. What we use here? Underscore concepts we use here between the max and height. Next point says that space must not be used. As I told you, we should not use blank space or white space between the two words. So that is the guideline of the naming convention. We have some example in Lisp programming language. Lisp is one of the artificial intelligence programming language. We use dash for names. What we use? DASHE, dash for name. For example, total dash height. So this is the way to represent name in Lisp programming language. Dear friends, Lisp LISP is one of the artificial intelligence programming language. Next we have a Python and SQL. This is the query language. SQL and Python is a programming language. These both languages use underscore as a names. For example, total underscore height. So here underscore as used as a name in Python and SQL. Third example says here Java. In Java we use lowercase or mixed case for our names. For example, here total in small letter we have written, and again height we use H as a capital letter, that means mixed cases, that means lowercase and uppercase, we with both mixed together, and then we have given a name, and that type of example comes under the Java programming language. I hope, my dear students, these three languages make you more clear about the naming convention. Now we have, what is the reason for using the naming convention? So we have a three reason here. First, it reduces the effort needed to read and understand source code. So first, what it reduces the effort which is needed by the programmer to read and understand source code. Second point says that it enable code review to focus more important issues than arguing other syntax or naming as standards. Dear students, second point says that instead of giving more focus on other argument things like syntax and naming address, we should be give more focus on important issues. Third point says that it's enable the code quality review, so that we have to give more focus on the reporting on significant issues instead of having a focus on syntax and style preference. So third point here says, students, it helps to enable the code quality review tools, and that allows us to focus more on reporting significant issue rather than syntax and style preference. So these are the three reasons why we are using the naming convention in the programming language. See here, with the help of this image, I want to show you what are the keyword we have to use. So do not use keyword to name your variable. Which keyword cannot use? If, else, for, while, switch. These are the keyword we should not use to name our variable. Now we have some general rules about the commenting. So first rule says that comments improve program readability. So comments, what improve? It's improve the readability capacity or property of the program. Second point says that like the naming convention, we should be more conscious or more clear about to use the correct English spelling. And third point says that different programming language having different comment styles, or it allows, some program allows, some program disallows some commenting styles. So we have some example here. For example, first line says that double slash line. This line is a line comment. This double line is a single line comment. Slash star is a block comment, and over two lines we have to star slash, then hyphen dash dash is used as a comment in HTML programming language. So other points we have here in commenting, starts each file with a comment at the top describing its content. That means a good programmer always give a comment on the top of the program whenever they are going to be write. Second point says that whenever we are going to be start a class, we must describe the use of the class and for what purpose we are starting the class. That will be by comment only. Third point says that each function must be described by using the comment, and that help the programmer to understand easily and read it easily. Then variable name should be descriptive enough not to require commenting. That means here says that the variable name should be descriptive enough. That means we must describe the variable name by using the comment in the programming language. So these are the basic points under the basic rules, general rules under the commenting. As I told you, dear students, all the different programs having different comment formats or comments structure to represent. Now, as per the syllabus, we are going to talk on the C programming language. So here we are, how we are going to be give the comments in the C programming language. As I told you, comments provide clarity to the source code that allows us to better understanding, and it also helps us the debugger to easily find the bugs. Second point says that comments are especially important in large project. Yes, suppose we have a project. In that project we have a thousands of lines of a source code, then really it's very difficult by the debugger or tester to work on it. But if a comments we have given by for all classes or for all functions, for all modules, why we use, what is the uses here, then it's very easy to understand to the programmer. So these are the syntax for the comments in the C programming language. The syntax for the comment. So slash star, comment goes here, again star slash, this is the closing. So this is the syntax which we are using in C programming language. Now we will see single line comment. We have a single line comment here. This is the single line comment in the C programming language. In C++ we are using double slash line. So this is the again single line comment in the C++. Dear students, this is C slash star author tech on the net.com star slash, it's a comment which is given by the programmer in C programming language. This is for the single line. The same single line comment can be given in the C++, but the syntax is different. We are using double slash line. Now multi-line comments. In the multi-line comments we are using slash star, then all the comment will be there, and then finally we are going to be close it by star slash. So this is called multi-line comments. I hope it is clear for you. Now my dear students, what do you mean by single line comments and multi-line comments? Now indenting and white space. So these are the two basic concepts which used in the Python language. So Python required these two concepts. So by using these two concepts, indenting and white space, we are able to do the programming in Python in an effective manner. For example, if you want to give a separate logic grouping of a code, then what we are going to use? We are going to use the blank lines. The same way, if you want to use separate functions, then we should give two minimum blank lines. So if you want to give a separate functions, then we should give minimum of two blank lines. And if one blank lines we are going to give, means we are going to give a separation between the groupings of code. The same way, fourth point says that be consistent with choice of tabs or space for indenting. That means if you are going to select the tabs or space for indenting, we should be consistent in nature. Fifth point says that our primary importance to make our source code easy to read and logically follow. Easy to read and understandable. So see here example. I have here 9 lines are given here. If you see line number 1 or 3, both are written in the same only, but in line 1 we have used the white space. But same thing in line 3 we have written without using the white space. So in comment it is written here, line 1 is more readable than line 3. So if we compare line 1 and line 3, so line 1 is more readable than line 3. So in line 1 we use white space. The same way if we compare line 4 and line 6, then line 4 is more readable than line 6. Why? Because in line 4 we use the concept of white space. If you compare line 7 and line 9, then line 7 having white space compared to the line 9. So that in 8 comments it's mentioned here, line 7 is more readable than line 9. I hope now the concept of indenting and white space is clear for you. Now refinement. Refinement talks about the steps. That means it talks about the programming development. So structured program is based on the stepwise refinement process. Dear students, as we know that C programming language is called as a structured programming language, and which is based on the refinement process. So programming development can be expressed as a sequence of refinement steps. So if you talk in the programming development, so this development expressed number of sequence steps will be required, and that is called refinement. In each step, in each refinement step, several instructions are decomposed into more detailed ones. That means in each refinement steps we are going to be decompose the several instruction into more detailed ones. If you want to be understand or analyze the concept of refinement in more detail, I have given one demonstration, that is 8 queens problem. If you perform the 8 queens problems, this will give the demonstration about the concept of refinement. And last point says that program refinement is a programming methodology in which formal description what a program should do. So program refinement is a programming methodology in which we are talking what program should do. Now when we are going to talk about the refinement methodology, we have a two methodology here, a stepwise development and programming knowledge. But here the use of, we have a two basic use of the refinement. First, this is used for the construction of correct program, and second, refinement will give the framework in which programming knowledge can be presented. So we have a two uses here. First, we are using for the construction of the correct program. Second, we are using to give a framework in which programming knowledge will be present. And we have a true methodology, stepwise development and programming knowledge. Now modular programming. Modular programming is a process of subdividing a computer program into separate sub programs. Dear students, it's a, what modular programming means, what it's a, we have, suppose we have a software program, we have a big program here, that program can be separate into sub programs. That means small programs, and each small program is called as a module. So here it's written here, a module is a separate software component. Let's see this image. We have a 4 small component of a software. One is red, then blue, green and yellow. This 4 component of a software is acts as a module of a software, but all these 4 modules combined together, work together, it become a software or a program. So same concept is used in the modular programming language. That means a software can be, or a program can be separated into sub programs, and this sub program is considered as a module. I hope it is clear for you, my dear students. One thing again I am going to be say here, and each module is independent from other. If we change in one module, that will not reflect on the other module. So red, blue, green, yellow, if we make a change on the red module, then that will be not reflect on the green module. So that will be only changes in the red one. So that is called independent module in a software. Now modular programming benefits. So we have some benefits of the modular programming. So we have some points here. So first point says that the code can be reused, or we can use the same code for many other applications. Next point says that it's very easy to design by using the concept of the modular programming. So modular programming also allows many programmers to be collaborate on the same applications, because it's give a chance other program has to be work on the same applications. So next point says that code is stored across multiple files because code is short, simple and easy to understand. So by using this modular programming concept in the programming language, error can be easily identified and the tester or debugger can easily sort out our problems. So these are the benefits. I hope, my dear students, it's clear for you. So these are the reference. You may visit this link. It will be give more exposure about the programming style. So thank you so much.